everyone, and welcome back to Learn to Love DIY. Today we are creating this beautiful friend card. It says, "Thinking of you, sweet friend." And this is what the inside would look like. It's just very simple. I did mostly decorate the front. However, you can go ahead and do decorations on the inside. I'm going to go ahead and show you how I created this card today. I used two different stamp sets. I used the Timeless Tulips for the border here, as well as the Honeybee. I'm using the Thinking of You, Sweet Friend. However, if you were making this for a birthday or a Mother's Day or just a friendly hello, you could definitely use one of the sentiments that are in the Timeless Tulips. So you don't necessarily have to use both, but in this case, I did use both of them to complete this card. And I'll show you the colors. We're going to go ahead and keep everything the same. I know that sometimes I do end up changing up the colors. However, not today. I'm going to go ahead and show you. I used Petal Pink and Smoky Slate for the inks. And here I have a piece that measures 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then I have two Whisper White pieces that measure 4 inches by 5 1/4. Just to give it a slight, here, let me see, a slight little border there. And then I have two little slivers of Petal Pink. And these will be used to go ahead and frame out the sentiment. And then I'll be using a couple of the rhinestones. And as I said, these are the colors of inks that I'll be using today. I'll be using Petal Pink and Smoky Slate, as well as the Memento Tuxedo Black ink for the sentiment. And we're going to go ahead and start setting up. I'm going to put the card aside for now, as well as these little guys. I'm only going to be using one of the Whisper Whites right now. And then I'll set this aside and we can go ahead and put the card together in a moment. So this is what I used. I used a piece of scrap of just printer paper. However, if you have any form of masking tape, you can go ahead and certainly use that. And all I did is I put a piece of scrap paper on the bottom, and then I tried to go ahead and level this out to try to make it centered. And what I used for that was my ruler here that I have on the side. I went ahead and measured 1.5 on the top, just about. Let me go ahead and first measure, and then I can go ahead and secure the bottoms. So about 1.5. Alright, so now that we have our strip down, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to start off with the Petal Pink and the tulips, and then we can go ahead and do the Smoky Slate for the leaves. So let's go ahead and get started. And I may or may not forward this portion because it will take just a little bit to get them all aligned, and I'll be doing both sides. So I will be forwarding this just to shorten the video and to give you just the sweet points of how to make this card. And you could probably make this card with several different stamp sets. However, I chose this one since I'll be sending it out to a friend, and I want to go ahead and share this with you guys. So I'm going to be multitasking and doing both ends at the same time. Okay, so before I go ahead and start the leaves, I'm going to go ahead and mask my tulips, and I went ahead and cut these off of some sticky notes. So you can go ahead and most definitely do that. And then I just fussy cut around. so I'm going to go ahead and remove everything that I have on top here. Taking my masking pieces of tulips here. And these are reusable, so if you did want to go ahead and keep them, this is the second time I use them. You don't have to make them every time you make a card. So for as long as they are good and they're sticky, you can go ahead and keep them around. So now I'm going to go ahead and take this portion off. And as you can see here, we have a bit of strip where our sentiment will go. And then I'm going to go ahead and mount our sentiment. It says, "Thinking of you, sweet friend." But let me go ahead and wipe some of these guys off. Okay, so here is our sentiment. We are using Memento Tuxedo Black ink, as I mentioned earlier. And then we're going to go ahead and just stamp it right in the center of the center. Okay. Beautiful. And now I can put that away. I'm going to set this aside for just a second. I'm going to go ahead and bring back our base card as well as the Whisper White piece that will go on the inside. And we're going to go ahead and work with these guys for now. I'm going to go ahead and burnish it with my bone folder, just to make the edges look very crisp. And then don't forget the way that you're going to be placing it. Since I'm not writing anything on the inside, it doesn't really matter too much. However, when you do place the top, you'll need to make sure that it opens this way. Or at least for this card, it's going to be opening on the particular side. So we're going to go ahead and adhere our piece of Whisper White inside. If you do happen to have any questions regarding any of the processes that I'm doing now, please let me know. I will go ahead and link my Stampin' Up! 24/7 online store for your use. There's something wrong with this piece. My apologies. I'm going to go ahead and trim this just a sliver, that seems, or like a quarter. That should do it. I'm going to have to take that off to clean it out. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, much better. Toss that in the bin. Okay, so that's the inside. I'm going to go ahead and rotate it since the opening will go on this side. And we're going to go ahead and adhere with the Tombow is what I'm using. Now, you could choose to put it on dimensionals. I did think about that. But I opted, since I'll be mailing this out, to just leave it flat. So that's really up to you. And I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing, centering it. Then I'm going to go ahead and take my two little slivers of Petal Pink, and then I'm going to go ahead and outline this side. And this just gives it a bit of a cleaner look. However, you can leave it as is, and if you don't mind it too much. I did want to leave it originally, but I thought this would give it just a little bit of a better look for my purposes anyway. Okay, and then the next. Okay, making sure just a tiny bit. And I didn't measure the slivers. You could if you wanted to. I just cut a little bit of strips of a piece that I had around that was left over from a different project. So there you have it. That's my card. And I'm going to go ahead and take, where are you? Oh, they fell down when I used my mini trimmer. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just take my X-Acto knife to go ahead and peel these guys off. And I'm going to be using just 3 like I did for my original card, which is right here. I'll show you. I used 1 of each size. And you can choose to do a different design with this, of course, also. That's also up to you. Kind of just showing you the possibilities. So there you have it. I do believe we are all done. So this is the card I made before the video, and this is the card we made today together. So it opens like this. Quite simple. As I mentioned before, it just takes a little bit of time to get all the images down there, but it turns out very beautiful, and you could do this with any color combinations. And I hope that you've enjoyed this tutorial today. I will go ahead, like I mentioned, go ahead and link my 24/7 Stampin' Up! Online store, as well as my email in case you have any questions. Feel free to leave any comments in the comment section below. And I thank you very much for watching. You guys have a great day.